Just moved to the land of enchantment and wondering how to transfer your driver's license? Well, you are certainly not alone. Welcome to The Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled to have you here today. Moving to a new state is an incredible adventure, but let's be real, it also comes with a bit of a bureaucratic maze. Today, we're going to unravel that process together and give you a super clear step-by-step roadmap to conquering the New Mexico Motor Vehicle Division, or the MVD. Let's get you legally on the road with total ease.
So let me ask you, have you recently relocated to New Mexico? Maybe you're still unpacking boxes, figuring out your brand new commute, and of course, answering the famous local question, red or green chili? Well, amidst all that excitement, establishing your permanent residency triggers a whole series of mandatory administrative procedures to align your driving credentials with state laws. It's a chore, for sure, but understanding exactly what's expected right now is going to save you a massive headache down the line. In this number right here, this is exactly why we need to act quickly. You have exactly 30 days to transfer your out-of-state license to New Mexico after establishing your residency. While some states give you months and months to figure this whole thing out, New Mexico operates on a very strict 30-day legal window. And driving beyond this grace period on an expired out-of-state license, it isn't just a minor slap on the wrist. It's actually classified as a misdemeanor offense. We are talking about potential fines of up to $300 and even the possibility of up to 90 days in jail. So prompt action is absolutely crucial here. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our agenda for today. First, gathering required documents. Second, the none for the road requirement. Third, handling expired licenses. And finally, the step-by-step process. Let's start with Section 1, gathering required documents. Navigating the paperwork maze. So the administrative integrity of New Mexico's licensing system relies on incredibly strict verification of both your identity and your physical residency. Getting this right on the first try is basically your golden ticket to a fast, painless MVD visit. The very first choice you're going to make is whether you want a real ID or a standard license, because this completely dictates the paperwork you need to bring. If you're aiming for a real ID, which remember you'll eventually need for boarding domestic flights, you absolutely must bring proof of an identification number like your social security card or a W-2 form, right alongside your proof of identity, age, and residency. But if you opt for the standard license, you don't actually need to prove that identification number. You just need one proof of identity and age plus your residency documents. Just keep in mind, if you cannot provide proof of lawful status in the US, you can only apply for that standard license. Now, stop right there. This is a absolutely crucial point. Do not bring photocopies. Seriously, even if you took a photocopy down to a notary public and had it officially stamped, the New Mexico MVD will reject it outright. Every single critical identity document you bring in, like a birth certificate from a state vital statistics office or a US passport, it must be the original document or a certified copy directly from the issuing agency. Non-certified replicas are just an automatic rejection at the counter, and nobody wants that. Now, for both of those license tiers, you have to bring two distinct proofs of physical New Mexico residency. This is how the state ensures motorists are actively residing within its tax and regulatory jurisdiction. Acceptable documents include everyday things like a current utility bill, a rental or purchase agreement, a local property tax statement, a bank statement, or an employment pay stub. But you've got to pay super close attention to the dates. Documents like your utility bills, pay stubs, and bank statements must be dated within 60 days of your application. An insurance card can be up to 6 months old, and a lease just needs to be currently valid. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is what is not allowed. These are these strict disqualifiers that catch so many new residents completely off guard. Your two residency proofs must show your actual physical residential address. P.O. boxes, strictly prohibited. Highway contract, or HC addresses, will also be rejected. You can't use a cell phone will either. And finally, the two documents cannot come from the exact same entity. So bringing two different statements from the exact same bank, not going to work. You need a mix, like one bank statement and one utility bill. Moving on to Section 2, the none for the road, New Mexico's unique requirement. All right, let's talk about a curveball that surprises a ton of out-of-state transfers. New Mexico has integrated a mandatory DWI education component right into its licensing framework, and it applies to specific classes of out-of-state transfers. It's called None for the Road, and it's an online, self-taught DWI prevention program. It costs $25 and is really designed to focus attention on the serious DWI problem in the state and help reduce alcohol-related accidents. Now, a vital thing to note here is that this class is administered by the University of New Mexico Continuing Education Department, not the MVD itself.
So you're not taking this class standing at the MVD counter. You have to enroll online or over the phone, complete the home study, and get your exam authorization code before you even try to finalize your license transfer.
So, who actually has to take it? Let's break it down. If you are between the ages of 18 and 24, it is mandatory. Period. Even if you have a spotless driving record and a perfectly valid out-of-state license, you still got to complete this course. Now, if you are 25 or older and have a totally clean record, you are entirely exempt. But, and this is a big but, if you are 25 or older and have ever been convicted of a DWI or DUI in literally any U.S. jurisdiction, you must successfully complete the program before a New Mexico license will be issued to you.
Next up, Section 3. Handling expired licenses, testing rules, and timeline.
Okay, so what if your out-of-state license actually lapsed during all the chaos of your move? Well, the testing requirements vary wildly depending on exactly how long your credential has been expired. Let's move to the timeline and see how this builds over time. If your out-of-state license is currently valid, it's incredibly straightforward. You only need to pass a basic vision screening with 20/40 acuity. Your previous driving record basically credits you for the rest. However, as time passes, the testing definitely escalates. If your license has been expired for 1 year or more, a computer-based written test is added to the mix. And if that license has been expired for 5 years or more, you're facing the full dual testing mandate. You're going to have to pass both the written exam and an in-person road skills test. Now, here is a super practical workaround for a really common challenge. What if you literally lost your physical plastic card during the move? It happens to the best of us. You can actually still prove your current valid driving status. You simply need to request an official driving record from your previous state's motor vehicle department. But listen close, there's a huge catch here. When it arrives in your mailbox, do not open it. The MVD will only accept an official, completely sealed and unopened driving record. That's how they guarantee it hasn't been altered. Which brings us to Section 4, the step-by-step process, your MVD roadmap.
All right, we've covered all the complex rules, the strict disqualifiers, and the unique state programs. Let's synthesize the whole shebang into a clear, actionable workflow. Following this exact order is going to save you so much time. Step 1, verify the status of your old license and order that unopened driving record if the physical card went missing. Step 2, if you're under 25 or have a prior DWI, hop online to UNM and knock out that None for the Road program. Step 3, meticulously gather your original identity documents and your 2 proofs of residency, making sure all those dates align perfectly. Step 4, do yourself a favor and schedule your MVD appointment online so you aren't stuck waiting in a huge walk-in line. And finally, Step 5, head into the office, ace that vision test, surrender your old license, and execute the transfer.
Now, just keep in mind, you actually won't leave the MVD that day with a hard plastic ID card in your hand. New Mexico is what's called a central issuance state. Instead, the agent is going to punch a hole in your out-of-state license to void it, and they'll hand you a temporary paper credential. But don't worry, this paper document is legally valid for up to 45 days while your official, secure plastic license is processed and mailed directly to you.
Oh, and here is an absolute pro tip that will literally save you a second trip. Bring your out-of-state vehicle with you to your appointment. Since state law requires you to transfer your driver's license and register your vehicle within that exact same initial 30-day window we talked about earlier, it makes perfect sense to knock out titling and registration simultaneously. Just be aware that if you do bring a vehicle, you might also need a quick VIN inspection right there at the MVD. Finally, let's talk numbers so you are completely prepared at the counter. State law now requires a mandatory DWI records check on all drivers moving from out of state, and that carries a one-time $15 fee. Beyond that, the license itself is $33 for a 4-year credential, or $49 for an 8-year credential. And remember, if you fell into the category requiring that None for the Road class, that was a separate $25 fee paid directly to UNM. Also, just a quick heads up, if you choose to use an authorized private third-party MVD partner instead of a state-run office, they might add on some extra convenience surcharges. So, here's my final question to you before you head out the door. Are your 2 proofs of physical residency actually dated within the last 60 days? Go double-check those dates right now. Seriously, doing your homework upfront transforms this whole bureaucratic chore into a total breeze. I would absolutely love to hear how your transfer goes, so please share your own MVD experiences and any questions you have down in the comments below. And hey, if you found this explainer helpful, be sure to subscribe for more content on relocating and adapting to life right here in New Mexico. Before we officially wrap up, just a quick professional disclaimer. While every effort is made to provide accurate and up-to-date information in this explainer, policies and regulations can and do change.
We strongly encourage all viewers to verify specific details, required documents, and current fees directly with the New Mexico Motor Vehicle Division yourself. Thanks so much for joining me today, and drive safely out there.